Oh, dear me. It's always like we're on a merry-go-round. You have to be so temperamental, these clips. Especially when I'm involved. Just doesn't help, does it? Right, okay, let's have a look. Let's click buttons. Let's see where I'm at. Am I live? Am I doing something constructive? Am I in the house? It looks like I am. Yes, okay. Right, that's definitely on the squiggle. Squiggly doodles. Let me just move them there. Okay, let's have a... I think that looks a bit better. Yeah, I'm hoping that looks better. There we go, sorted. Let's have a look. Still very early yet. I've come on a little bit early, as you do, just to say hello to everybody. There we are. Hi, Diane. Hi, Michael. Love it. Oh, hello. Oh, dear me. Hello, everybody. Right, you're all just coming on. I've got a couple of minutes left. Hi, Ruth. Hope you're well. Evening, Marie. We got pastes and things today. I'll put them there. I'll show you what we're sort of having a dabble at today. Well, we're having a play. Why not, isn't it? Why not, indeed. Hello to all the on Facebook. So I've got Facebook and YouTube streaming together. I don't know whether there's going to be a lag or anything. The weather has not been good here in good old Wolverhampton. We've had some terrible rain today. Terrible. The heavens have opened. But it's been lovely and cool. I've even put my cardi on. Hi Cara, hi Carol. Hope you're well, my sweeties, over on Facebook. Thank you for joining me this evening. I better just get a bit of paper, and I've already pre-made a few bits and bobs. That's always the way, isn't it? Always the way. Just eating pesto. Oh, very nice. A glass of clear stuff. Fabulous. Hi Caroline, hi Jan. Hope you're well. Sharon, hi. Anthony, hi. Hope you're all good. I'm feeling, do you know something? I'm feeling better today. I cleaned the stairs today, and I went into sort of a zombie ADHD moment. It's nice to actually I'm doing what I'm doing now, so you know it's interesting. Hello, hi Anne-Marie. It took me forever to get logged in, but you're here. That's it. As long as you're here, that's the main thing, isn't it? You ain't missed anything. Let's have a look at the clock. Oh, we've still got a minute to go. Just people logged in and all the rest of it. So I've had a proper little play today. Hi Susan. I've had a proper little play. 22 in my house, but honestly, put my cardi on. I tell you, it's all daftness in it. Absolute daftness. Put my cardi on. What's all that about? It's supposed to be summer. Yeah. Well, I am feeling better. I'm just understanding all these mood swings and nonsense that goes with this condition, I suppose. Disability. However you want to place it, it's one of those, isn't it? You know. Let's hope you had a good day. Going to be oh no, that's fine, Sarah. Family first. There's always going to be a catch up, so don't worry. Hi Sarah. I hope you're good. Got a thumbs up with our Anthony. Brilliant. Hi Debs. Hope you're well. Sharon, hello sweetheart. Hope you're good. And yeah, all of you lot are starting to log on. Brilliant. So. What am I doing tonight? Well, I'm making a bit of a mess, as you do, you know. It's not as bit as it's slightly well. Actually, Diane, if you look on the listings, it is actually classed as a disability. So I don't want to, what's it there? But yeah, it is unfortunately classed. Well, I say unfortunately, it's classed as a disability, ADHD. So yeah, I've looked over a lot. Oh, look at this. We have the gorgeous Sissy Poos. Hi, Sarah. Hello, Chris. Hello. I'm glad you're here, Sissy Poos. I know you've had a bit of a day today, but look, you're in a good place now. That's the main thing. Hi, Caroline. So yeah, so I'm going to blow off as I normally do. Have my moment of my madness. No, I don't think it's disability and getting. I think it. Oh, sorry. That's all right. It's all right. My bad then. Rewind. Take the notice what I just said. That's all good fun with me, as you know. Right then. Okay. Hi, Diane. Hello. Alison, hi. Marie, everybody. If I miss you, apologies. Hi, Jen. Good hot afternoon from Canada. Oh, fabulous. We've had rain and everything here. That's all I'll say. Now, I've done a bit of a flip with this today because I thought I was messing around, you know, because I've had a lot of different messages today, good, bad, faffing, and all the rest of it. But I've been working with a bit of Crackle paste, and then I've overcooked it, which I love because I've got this lovely effect on it. And then done some stamping on that. And then on this side, I've done a bit of hand painting, and then I've done a glaze, which was this one, the textured paste, which is the transparent matte. So I have used the textured paste opaque Crackle on that side. Look at that juiciness there. And then on this side, I've used the transparent matte paste. So lots of different, oh yeah, thumbs up everybody, thank you. So yes, whatever you're watching, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, if you can give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense, I don't know, algorithms, yeah, all good fun. So yes, we're going to do a couple of different little techniques, maybe mix and match. Hi Chris, Moira, hi. And then on this one, I have done a little bit of a freestyle on that. So I've used Tracy's gorgeous stamps, moved them around a bit, put a bit of paint down, and then I actually sort of freestyled a little bit of stuff, as you do. Bless you. Hi Nettie. Hello Lise. Bless you. Hope everybody's good. So I think we're all here. Oh, bless you, Nettie. Bless you. So let's crack on. So I'll just show you what I've got here, just so we can all play around if you want to go and grab anything. Like I say, I have got Crackle paste and I have got transparent matte. I'll just totally blame Sissy Poos on those purchases as always. We're going to do a bit of the Crackle and a bit of the glaze today, maybe on the same one, I don't know. And we're going to use some of the gorgeous Tracy stamps. Now, what I've done here is I've got Super Smooth Pink Frog 300 GSM. That's all I'm using tonight. So there's no watercolour card in. And all I've done is cut, we've got A5, we've got A6s and A7s. Now, the A5 I've just popped down score line just so that's a little card. And the same with the A6, I've done a score line down. Hi Annette, hope you're well, sweetheart. So that's the paper part of it. So that's there, I've got plenty of that. I have got the Timmy's little stencil. This is a small one with that lovely fleur-de-lis, whatever it is. Yeah, pretty. Then I've got Tracy's TE50. I've got ST3 stencil 6x6. Now, I haven't even used this, so it's time that come out the wrapper and got some christening, got some ink on it. I've got the TE45, so those are from the new sets there. And then underneath, we got hiding, we got a bit of Timmy. Now, I know Amanda used these the other day. However, I might have a play around with them. The leaf, this leaf here is what I actually used on that one there. So, and that is absolutely divine to play around with. So just the leaf on its own, that would make a stunning tag. And obviously I've got that little bit of texture paste there. But these are all white cards and I've just messed around with them and played. So let's get some texture on. Let's have a play and let's create as you do. So let me move these out of the way. So I'm going to do something similar to these sort of things. We're going to have a play around, as you can see, white card, play around, and then see what we're gonna make, or what's going to end up coming out the cobweb, so to speak, into it. So I am going to start with A6. I'm going to start with one card first. Yeah, I'm gonna start with an A6. Let me just put these out the way. Get on, sat in a deep Barry White. Let's get it on. Oh yeah. Let me get my madness out the way, as we all say, into it. So let's put some colour down. Now, somebody asked me for some pinks and purples. So let me just show you before I go off on a tangent. Obviously, this is now, it's up, love the leaf stamp. Yeah, definitely. So this is uploaded now in Tracy Evans Boutique group. Okay, so that was from yesterday. Now, I haven't done anything else with it, and what I've seen in the group of those that have had a dabble with this, oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, you're on it. Honestly, you're putting some absolutely fabulous stuff out. So yeah, we all know me carnage. So I just wanted to show you that dried and finished. All right, so if you want to see how this is, get yourself into Tracy's group. That's Tracy Evans Boutique Designs. It's a private Facebook group. And all I use is Tracy Evans stuff in that. So that is Tracy Evans. Beautiful. One of her books. So that's that. So let's crack on. Let's play. So pinks. We've got to have a bit of green in with a bit of antique linen. Okay, so I've got seedless preserve, pickled raspberry, sloppy kisses from Meggie. Oh, yay! Mega pause and Deborah. Oh, love it. Gotta give, always gotta give. First time I've finished Paisleys and they go, oh, wow, fabulous. Wilted violet, I'll start again. Wilted violet, pickled raspberry, seedless preserve, quiche flamingo. So there's your pinks, purple sort of theme, yeah. Then I've got a bit of twisted citron, which goes absolutely divine with quiche. Antique linen's a base, and vintage photos just got to go in there somewhere, as you do. Now, that's what sort of the play around was with this. And I love the dramatic effect with black, with purple, possibly even a yellow. But we'll just play the game as you do. I might whack a yellow into it yet, I don't know. But let's get some colours on the go. Let me stop rabbling. Right, so I always start with the light colours first. So if we're going to go in a colour, we're going to do light pink, dark pink, purpley pink, purple. Okay, we'll keep these over here out the way because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, let's play. That's the first time I've seen the finished pages. Oh, okay, bless you. Well, if you go into Tracy's group, it's all in there. Now, let's now I did start. Is yellow your favourite, Lise? Yellow. I don't know actually. Nah. I like green. So if I'm I like I'll probably say antique linen, twisted citron. This is going to be sort of my favourite combo, maybe with some blues as well. But I like greens. I love peel paint. You know, so it's like it's one of them. That's the pinks again. You went too fast. It's all right. They're here. Pickled raspberry. They are. Quiche flamingo, pickled raspberry, seedless preserve, wilted violet. They're there. Okay, so let me get what I was going to get, and that was this beautiful stencil, which is ST3. This is cutouts are included as well. Love it. Now this back now, greens are my favourite. I know they are. This lovely one. This is its first outing, so we're going to christen it well now. What I like about, let's play this over here. What I like about pieces of paper and playing is the fact that we can layer, and we can start layering. Now, if you had your 6x6 bit of card, fabulous, but I can actually get that quite nicely over that. Now, you put it whichever way you want to. I would say there is no right or wrong, depending on how you're looking. But I'm just going to pop it down like so. Now, you can tape it if you want. I don't care if it moves. So all I'm going to do to begin with is just lightly kiss around, give it a bit of love, put some colour on. And I'm using the same brush. So I'm just playing with the light and the dark pink at the minute. Now, if you want to take that off and just like so, fine, okay? And depending on the stencil you use, you can go very, very, you know, very oiling on it. You know, how she does a beautiful stencil layering and stuff like that. You can quite easily do that if that's what you want to do. So again, if you wanted to pull in colours or anything like that, go for it. Now I'm going to move it like so. And I'm going to get me my purple brush now. So we're going to put seedless preserve. I'm just going to pop it in over here. And you know, it's one of them. I'm not even too worried where this is going, if I'm honest. I'm going to move it again. And I'm going to put some purple just up here, maybe. Yes, a bit of this over this and this. Oh, bless. Bless. There we go. So, you're going to have an array of colour. So, not bad as like sort of a start point. So, if you like that and you want to leave it like that, that's totally fine. But I'm showing you this as literally a base or a start point as such. Now what I'm going to do is where I've got those additional bits of colour, I'm just going to put some edge work on. And I'm just going to play around. Now I'm using these brushes with green handles on. They'll do me just fine at the minute. I'm just going to put a different bit of colour here and there. Quite happy with that. If you want more colour on, don't be shy to drop it on if you want. Or, you know, just have a bit of movement maybe. You know, let's just, you know, let's really get to town on this one. So this is going to be the messy one, as you can clearly tell. Now, if you want to put your things over here, because it's not going to look like anything like this when it's finished, but this is just the start. Okay, so water, my favourite part. As some of you know me quite well now, I think my doobry needs a clean. Oh dear me. Yeah, well, it's aiming. It's a bit like a male. It's aiming. Right, let's just move this around. So already we're losing what we've put down, but we're gaining because I'm getting the movement and the colours all nicely together. Now, if you want to get yourself a little bit of tissue, hold it down and dab edges, you can do. Again, it's totally up to you how you want to play this one. Let me get my noisy little device. Let me do that. Make sure you heat it up, and away you go. So you could dry it off really quite quickly, depending on what device you're using. I find this one fabulous to use. Let me just pour that bit of water around there. Let's get those watermarks on. I love a watermark. I think it's fabulous. So this could be quite easily dyeing out for a bit of yellow into it, or even green. There we go, that'll do. It's here. So I like to hang this bit down because I've got a hook over here, so I'm hoping that's going to hold there. Yes, it is. So you can give it a little wiggle. Hope hubby is okay. Oh yes, definitely. I'm sending wishes if anybody needs them, yeah, because you know we're nice like that. Now you can quite easily put this on again if you wanted to pull out certain avenues. So say for instance, let's just put a bit of purple on. Say for instance you just wanted to have just little bits here and there maybe, and you thought to yourself, oh, I just want a little bit of a character going up in the background. Oh, that's fine. Just pop your stencil back down, whatever stencil you're using. I'll just pick this one up because, as I say, it's never seen the light of day, but it is today. How many times do we buy things and it's like, oh, I'll try that now, and I'm thinking to myself, no, as I'm going through all my stuff, I'm making sure anything that's not been used is having an outing. So this is ST3, it's a 6x6 stencil, grunge, fabulous. Here's page for, oh, okay, bless, wow. It's a lot to cope with, a lot to cope with. Now, as I've just put on a little bit more of something, I'm just going to just play around here, and I'm just going to give me another watermark here, which I don't mind, to be fair. I'm just going to put that there. This is definitely, let me just give it a squirt over there. Oh, it's going up in the air, bless it. Well, I never. Oh, I'll tell you what, it'll have your eye out, that will. Crikey, honestly, it's a bit dangerous, that is now. Might have to get myself a new. Oh, look at that now. Very nice. I'm quite liking that. Let's get the blaster on it. So we're sending all big hugs and kisses and love out to your hubby, sweetheart. And I know every day is a different day, and it's a very difficult, it's a very cruel disease. Right then, okay. So let's just give that a little bit of a dry. Beautiful, perfect, so love it. Okay, so and there is a stamp too, but I didn't get that out. You're jumping ahead of me now. Yes, there is a stamp that matches it, but I haven't got that out today, you see, because it's all about sort of just picking up bits and pieces and just playing. That's exactly what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm actually going to take this back out, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to put a little bit of the texture. So this one is the textured paste transparent matte, and they come in like, you can either buy them separate or they come in like a little pack of 3. Now I've got my little plastic spatula thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off on a tangent up this far corner here. Now you can put this on as much as you like, realistically. Yeah, you can go for it and go full hog and do the whole thing if you want. You can just pull little places here and there if you want. Again, you know, you do you. Yeah, love it. I love saying that, you know. I quite like that. Look at that bit of texture we got there now. And I'm just gonna put a little. I don't want this. I don't want to contaminate, but I also don't want to leave this little end bit out here either. There we go. Ta-da! Now then, be good and just give a wipe, yeah? If you've got a rag, let me just put the lid on that, because otherwise I don't want things going where they shouldn't do. Now, I've got this lovely rag here. It's got a little bit of water. So just make sure you do a little bit of a clean off. Now, you can do it onto somewhere and sort of have a second, third sort of play around with it. Totally up to you, yeah? I've got a bit of gunge on there. So all I'm going to do is make sure I'm not wasting it. And I'm actually going to put it on here and just spread it about. I'm going to tap it. I'm going to have a little bit of texture in other places. Why not, yeah? So don't be shy to, you know, just make sure you're sharing the love, you know, do your stuff. Now, you can leave it and let it do it natural if you want, or you can get the old Bunsen burner out and sort of help it along. Now, I like this because this has got a lovely matte sort of complexion, and when it goes off, it goes matte, so you can stop and just think, okay, it's done, and leave it. However, if you're like me, I'll take it a little bit closer, and it's now going to go oomphy. Yeah, that's it. Work in progress. I love it. Now, if you put, I don't know if you can see that, but if you put the heat gun a bit closer, you're going to get some really funky bubbles, and it looks like you've got some sort of problem and you need to get to A&E. But I quite like that effect on what I'm doing. So I am just going to overheat it in places and allow it to do that, because I like that bit of texture. There we go. So I've now got something that looks like it needs to go to A&E. Lovely bubbles. You've got to have bubbles, ain't you? Oh, love them. So you can just leave it naturally. I must be very sure I'm trying a bit more of it. Oh, go on, Sarah. No wrong with a bit of adventure. Trust me. So you can actually leave that. Now, that's obviously you've got to resist there. So anything we put over is just going to keep now whatever's there. So whatever's under that mat that we've just placed down will stay. So you'll stay, that pink will stay. So I can put other colour over it, rub it over, and that will stay put, sort of thing. So bear that in mind when you are stamping, because if we stamped over that now, I'll be able to rub off where the resist is, and then where you got your normal card, it'll stay put. So let me just quickly show you. So let me put my nice little stencil away. And the stencils are fabulous quality. Absolutely love them. Now, I'm going to get my trusty. So my TE50 is like my bestie now. So, you know, wherever you see me doing something with Tracy's, you'll always see this TE50 come out. So that's my favourite, with the little mushrooms. I'll absolutely adore this stamp. If you haven't added it to your collection, I suggest you do. That's all I'll say. So I'm going to have black. Do the paste come from Tracy? I had the paste prior, if I'm honest with you, and I brought them from Crafty Corner in Leicester. So you know they are that, you know, some. I'd have a look on Tracy's site. I'm sure Tracy uses some bits and bobs. I'm sure some of the people on here watching will correct me. But yes, if Tracy uses them, it's usually on her site. So. That's all I can say there, because I don't want to say something which is incorrect, because I'm not like that, you see. So I have put this down, and I'm just going to just do a nice little bit of gentle, just a bit of gentle stamping, you know, as you do. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. I think, yeah, why not? And don't worry about any lines that sort of don't look like they belong, or you've overlapped. Now, if you wanted to, hi Jackie, if you wanted to, you could actually rub over and sort of move, but I quite like the way that's gone on there. But if you want to do that, you can do that, and you can smudge and move it around. You know, if you wanted to go over it, you can do, and you can lift it up. Okay, so remember that as well. So to me, when you look at that now, I think that's quite stunning in its own right, if I'm honest with you. It's very different. It's very simple. Sometimes simple. Ikeeks. Sometimes simple is like, you know, your best friend sort of thing. Now, I am just going to grab calligraphy brush. Let me just wiggle this around a minute. Yes, the background, honestly, backgrounds are just so fabulous, and you wouldn't even realise you've got the stencil there. Now, the way for you to play around with that stencil is you can go back in. Let me just move these over here. You can go back in with your oxides if you wanted to, and paint little areas and bring them up in a different way if that's what you want. Looks like a castle in the background. Oh, here. Good. See, I love it when you lot look and find other things. So let me see if I can pull out some of these things that you're seeing. Let me get a little bit of seedless preserve. Now, you can go in there if you want, but I'm just going to go straight on. Now, when people say to you, you can't do that, I love it when they do that. You know, because at the end of the day, you got re-inkers for a reason. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can pull out your protect the castle. Okay. Let me just see if I can bring the castle into more of a focus, maybe. So as you can see, you can actually paint on, do little bits. You could even add paint at the sides. What you've also got to remember, there you go. If Tracy's got the transparent crackle, we're on it like a car bonnet. I love it. Now, you could use that paint over, use the distress, or you can just get your good old finger and just literally buff up where you've put some of that lovely paste. Now, again, it's just another way of bringing a different layer on. So don't be shy if you haven't got the correct brush or you haven't got something. Don't worry about it. Pop your finger in and just play around, because this is what this is all about. I love getting messy. I love just creating a mess. But I also sort of like looking at different techniques. Now, again, it's something that's really different. Let me get my white. Now, I know Tracy also uses this. So I'm going to put my blob in here. Let's have a little bit of a let me find a brush. There we go. So I'm just going to put some water in here. Now, the sable brushes keep water very, very well. And very well, I must admit. Now, I'm just going to wiggle this around like so. So that's got a lot of paint. Naughty Yog. Oh, dear. What am I missing here? Yog has eaten my... Oh, my gosh. Wow. That is Naughty Yog. Fell him out immediately. Oh, bless you, Anne-Marie. Well, okay, if I didn't realise you were playing along with me, so if I'd have known that, my bad, I'd have just gone a little bit slower. So sorry if you are diddling along with me and I've just gone a little bit too quick. My bad. So I'm just going to splatter some white. I think white with the black and the pink and everything else is just like, ooh, hello, pretty. Now, to be fair, you could just whack a nice sentiment on this, or even chop it up, and then lo and behold, you've got yourself quite a nice little what can we say? Put a greeting there. Merry Christmas. I mean, that I quite like that, if I'm honest with you. Let me just wipe my hand. Hold on. Let me grab a oogie boogie. Where are they? I'll tell you what, let me just grab this. That's the easy way of doing it, isn't it? There you go. Oh, I tell you what, that's a lovely colour. Yeah, Topper, that's it. It'll be something else by tomorrow. Okay, so that's using some of this one. And that was a textured paste, and that's a transparent matte. As I said, they're in a pack of 3. Let me just show you so you know I'm not blagging you. So, bam, bam, bam. You got the matte. You've got the gloss, or should I use the gloss? It doesn't matter. And then you've got the opaque textured paste matte as well. So that's what they come in like so. They're great if you just want to have a play before you go start buying bigger pots and stuff like that. But the stencil is absolutely fabulous. Let me just show you that stencil again. So the stencil is ST3. Really, really nice. And there is a matching stamp to go with it. I'm not going to go through all my stuff. I can't keep up painting with liars. Oh, bless you. Well, that's why we always make sure there's catch up. So I'll always make sure you're available to look back at it and play, because you're all busy chatting anyway. It's just me that's got to concentrate. You lot are just having fun. I've just got to remember what I'm doing, which sometimes that goes out the window clearly. Right, let's do some Crackle now. What did I do with this one? I used a bit of now this is an interesting one, this is, because I used on this one, obviously you've just seen what I've done there with that matte stuff, but on this one I actually put down an acrylic background, dried it off, and then put that over and then painted over. So I just want to show you this. this little part of things. I'm going to get the same size again, so you're really having a good see of how this crackle, and I'm going to put quite a chunky bit on so you can see the different depths. Oh, you've got the crackle, you'll like this then. So let me just grab a piece of card. There we go, sorted. Right, so I'm going to put that there, I'm going to put that there, put that over there. I'm going to move that, I'm going to turn it over. Aren't I good? Love Crackle, fabulous. Well, I'm starting to love it, I must admit. So I'm going to maybe go greens, because I maybe am going to do some sort of a little scene on this. So let me grab, let's have a look, greeny blue, there we go. Right, so I have got some of the Dina Wakley acrylic paint, and I've got olive and turquoise, or turquoise, or however you want to. Your crackle's not arrived yet, it'd be worth it, so you can get this ready. I know you love crackle. So what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to put a blob of, now this is acrylic, something I also use, love it, fabulous. And I'm going to just do it like so. So this is acrylic paint, okay? So I'm going to leave those two colours there. These are available out of Tracy's shop. Now, let me just put a little bit of water on my brush, and all I'm going to do now is just move those colours around, okay? There's nothing difficult about this. I'm making a mess, okay? You use whatever acrylic paint you've got, whatever colours you want to put on. Don't be shy and play around with them. I'm put a bit of water on my brush just to move them around. Yay, my paints are, oh, fabulous. How nice. Oh, you got to have playtime. Perfect. Right, so that's what I've got, a mess, yeah? Let me rinse my brush, because I'm using my Cyber brush, Naughty Lisa. Look at that beauty. That's a gorgeous brush, number 4 brush, by the way. Right, let me just put a bit of blast on. Hi, Terry. Hope you're well. Let's just dry this off. Now, this dries very quickly, because I've not put loads on. So I'm just going to tickle it around the paper as we go. And you can hold it down if you need to. I quite like my fingerprinting, but I'm going to try and be really good today. Let's have a look. There we go. Just got a couple of little wet patches left, and I like to hold it. Just, yeah, we're a little wet here as well. So now look at that. I've already got a bubble. Oh, love it. There we go. So just so you, let me just whack that over here. Just so you can see, so I've overheated the paint where I've got quite a heavy layer, and you can see how that's already bubbled. Now, does it need to be acrylic paint? No, it doesn't. It depends on what you're doing. So I put acrylic down first. I have done watercolour and done the crackle over a watercolour. It depends on whether you want to see a layer underneath or you don't. You know, again, it depends on what you want to do with the crackle. I'll show you anyway. So let's open the pot. Okay, so you can see what I've got on here. I've got this blue and the green, olive and turquoise acrylic paint. Okay, you're welcome. I've already got a bubble on where I've overheated it, which I don't care. There we go. Let me just make sure it's all dry. It is all dry. You can clearly see now, apart from the bubble. Let me rub the bubble down. There you go. Right, so there you go. Done. Spatula. Now you can use metal or plastic. It makes no, I have picked up the right thing. Yeah, I have. Now, it depends on the effect that you want, and if you're going to stamp over this. Now, if you're stamping over it, where you're stamping, you want it to be quite a level area. Okay. Now, if you're stamping, say, in the middle area, you want to sort of think of it as a piece of toast, and you're putting your jam on nice and evenly, and you're going to make sure that it's like sort of, yeah, going across. Now, if you've got your sides, let me just whack this around nice and uneven, and then if you want to tap it, get a bit of texture to that, go for it. If you want to add a bit more on and really have some texture to it, go for it. Okay, so it's not about having a little thin whisper on there. You can put as much or as little as you like on, depending on the effect you're going to go for. So this, I could use this quite nicely for, depending on how it finishes, for any occasion sort of thing, where I've got that lovely bit of blobbing. Now I think if I remember correctly. I think, now I don't know if it was Alison or Michelle Jourdain that was doing this the other day. I forget. I watched that many people. Well, I've stuck half a bit on my finger. Let's just whack a little bit there just to hide the paper. There you go. It hides a multitude of sins, this does. So, you know, if you do anything wrong, stick a bit of Crackle on it. It'll be fine. Be gone. You won't see it again. Fabulous stuff. So, let's get this dry. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a blast on, then I'm going to leave it. It's not warm in here, so it's not like the other day where I just left it and it was like done and dusted within an hour and a half. It dried beautifully. So, gotta go. It's all right then, sweetie. You enjoy yourself, Sarah. Have fun, and I'll see you on catch up. All right. So I'm going to quickly just give it a little blast over. Nothing too heavy. Have fun, Sarah. Bye. So already you can see that Crackle is actually coming along beautifully. Do you find it dry? Yeah, definitely. Make a change from the blooming butterfly. Don't it, Joe? Oh, dear me. Yeah, whack some Crackle glazing. Yeah, definitely. I could always put a butterfly on it. Oh, dear me. Naughty. Meow. Love it. Okay, so let's have a little play. Love it, love it. Right, so I'm just going to quickly show you before I continue. So already I've given it a bit of a heat blast, and you can see obviously where there's more in depth, it's going to get bigger cracks. Yes, cheeky. And then where it's lighter, you've got these light little, you know, cracks. Can't beat a butterfly. Oh, I don't know about that. Each to their own. It's all right with who you're not, bless you. What's wrong with butterflies? Oh, there's so much more you can do with a butterfly. Right, here we go. Right, so really putting heat onto this now. I can hear it crackling. Look at this, lovely. So I've really got a nice bubbling texture now, really going for it. There's a time and a place for a little butterfly. So I've really got a proper bubble there. So I just want it to explode and go poop. I'm making my mini pancake now. Oh, fabulous. Mini pancakes. I love it. Right, so let me just put a little bit of heat up here and really get this to pop and crackle and do its thing. Now, if I left this dry naturally, it would look nothing like this. It would be really amazing crackles and creases. However, I've heated it and I've overheated it, and I love the way that you get these lumps and bumps, so you get another dimension with embossing powders or glaze. There's been a lot in my... Oh, yes. You know something? It's nice to see. It's not just cabbage whites around. You've got so much variety of butterflies this year. It's absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Now, over that, I'm just going to get these two again. And I want more of this blue turquoise to come through, because I can quite easily paint greens over this. Okay, so I'm going to be nice and just put myself a little spot here on the mat. And I'm just going to squidge a bit out. Nothing too heavy. Pop some water on my brush. And I'm just going to pick up that lovely paint now. And I'm just going to add it just in areas. Now, depending on how your head's going, swarms of ladybirds. Ladybirds are brilliant. Have you seen before they change into a ladybird, have you seen the weird looking bug that they look like before they actually change into a beautiful ladybird? They are absolutely weird looking bugs. And I watched a program about it, and it was really interesting to see about them. I know it's a bit of an odd conversation, isn't it? But hey ho. But yeah, they really are really interesting little creatures, ladybirds are. And plus they eat all the bugs, which is fabulous. Yes, a little spiky. Their mums love them. Yeah, exactly. Oh, dear me. Right, so before this all settles, I am just nicely moving this around. So we've got that lovely blue on. Sadly, don't see many Oh, okay. Oh, bless. That is a shame. So I'm just going to dry this off now. There we go. And again, I'm reheating. Love it. So that medium now is now drying on top of the medium. And as you can see, loads of dragon. Oh yes, well I've got a pond in my garden, and it's lovely because I've got some gorgeous dragonflies that do come and visit. And I've also got the other, not the dragonflies, the little one. Lisa, did I surprise us when you use weeds on my tags? This one I use the weeds on my tag. Oh, okay. So this now you can see with that lovely crackle. And I was sick of buying. I mean, I've got pots and pots and pots of stuff here. I'll pick this one up, for instance. Load of nonsense. Lisa caught a humming, but yes, I did. Yes, I actually did that. Yeah. Like I say, I've got loads and loads damsels. That's it. Yes, damsels. I've seen loads of damsels as well. But yeah, so that crackle medium doesn't do anything like it says it's going to do. And that's along with about the other 4 different varieties of pots I've got. So that pot actually does exactly what it says on the tin. And of course it will, because Timmy's put his name to it. It's going to work, isn't it? Obviously. So he is literally the god of crafting. That's all I'll say. But now look at the texture that you've got on that now. How gorgeous is that? Now if you wanted to cut that up into a tag, perfect. But I see sort of trees. I see sort of what we've got down on this one. Yay, Tim, honestly, is amazing. I sort of see on here we've got a little bit of something. I mean, I could even put white on that and maybe turn that into a bit of a waterfall, you know. So yeah, you saw the trees too. Fabulous. So we're all on the same sort of wavelength there. Now, there's so many different things that you can sort of put here. I mean, I can paint down here now, for instance. I'm just going to get water and paint. So this is just watercolor paint now. My palette's just out of camera, but I can now paint down here if I wanted to. Not only am I going to bring up the cricks and creases of that beautiful texture that we've got underneath, but it also adds a different dimension to what you're putting down. So already it looks 2D, 3D in that context sort of thing. And if you're really brave, you can get a bit of black paint and start adding a bit of shadows and depth into places. Only a little bit here and there. You don't need a lot to add a different bit of texture and depth into it. So already I've got a base now to what I think I quite like the look of. So I'm going to blast that off. Good. So there we go. Look at you naming your trees. So you're seeing the waterfall too. Perfect. Perfect. So let me just dry this off. Let's see what I turn it into then, ain't it? This is going to be an interesting one. Oops. Lisa's having a bit of carnage. I love it. Okay, so I've put sort of a base area down. So I'm seeing a top area. So again, let me just paint a little bit of something up there. Let's see what it's going to end up looking like. And I'm going to get my green again. So the olive, I'm doing an olive green at the top here. Why not? I hear you ask. If it was a waterfall, it was a waterfall for you too. Well, go on then. Look at you. Oh, everyone's seen a waterfall. Love it. So if I do that now, I'd even do maybe a bit of that there, maybe. I can see people in long cloaks. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah, that's a cloak. I get it, yes. Oh, that's a bit spiritual for this time of day. Love it. I knew what you meant. Don't you worry. I knew what you meant. Okay, let's just put a bit of depth onto this. Let's put a bit of depth here. Forest, yes, okay. Like it. So you've all seen sort of different thing. I'm just going to turn it upside down. You'll probably see something totally different now. And all I'm going to do is move that watercolour around a little bit. There we go. There we are. I'm happy with that. Voila. So I'm going to dry that off now. Let me just move these green handled bushes out of the way. Right, okay. So there we go. Let's just dry that off. So all your layers, when you're doing something like this, Spirit of the Forest, we'll call this Spirit of the Forest. I like that. Good thinking, Caroline. Spirit of the Forest, yes. Let's do it. Okay, so Nice one, yes. Remind me later because I will forget. What we calling it? Spirit of the forest. That's all right then. Just make sure you're remembering it. Right, so let me get a fan brush. Now then, I need white spirit of the forest. Go on. Look at you, Lotta. You're on it today, ain't ya? Love it. Okay, so I'm going to move this over. So I've got a little bit of summit there. And I'm going to just put me a nice blob of white, basically. There we go. And anything over... anything over, I'm going to just put into the lid, because these sable brushes hold that much water. Don't think that you've lost it, because you haven't. Now let's have a look. Let me just see what we got at the top of here. Yeah, I think it might work actually. Okay, la-dee-dee. Okie dokie. Right, okay, let me just clean the brush. Perfect. Right, so I've got me a decent fan brush, as you do, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put me some clean water on here, and I'm just going to have a little bit of a play, and I'm just going to maybe just bring it down just gently. Can you see what it is yet? Oh, sorry, I just couldn't help myself. I do apologise. And I'm just going to... It's very therapeutic, this is today. I think you've just chopped off a head. You won't know he's still there. I can still see him. He's still there. You can still see him. I'm sure you can. Let me just pick up a bit more of this white. There we go. That's it. Perfect. A bit of water now. There we go. Sorted. Right, so. There we go. Righty-ho. That's it. So a fan brush is a really easy, very, look, you've seen what I've done, yeah? Very easy way to give you the strokes that are coming down. Now, I just want to add a little bit more oomph here, so let me just clean this brush. There we go. Okay, so I want to actually put quite a large area of white there, so it looks like the water's coming down and splashing off that rock. So let me just see if I can... Oh, I'm just going to go straight out the pot. There we go. That's better. And I just want it to come down a bit. Yes, the fan brush is a really, really, really easy way for you guys to bring together a nice effect. And you haven't got to use any crackle paste at all for that. Just make sure you just got bits here and there of a thick colour, so your strokes are coming down, okay, as you do, because you've got that undercolour. It's done the work for you, instead of you continuously trying to put in different bits and pieces. Now I'm going to add, let me just bring that down here, let me just have a little bit of water on my brush. There we go. Sorted. Now if you feel that you've just put a little bit too much on, get your finger and just dab it and just blend it into the rest. Okay, so I'm quite liking that sort of area there. There we go. And don't be shy to sort of just dab that little bit of water to move around any of that harsh paint, and just bring it down just a little, and bring it up as well as down, because it's going that way, if you know what I mean. So let me get my my fabulous little toothbrush. So just remember, toothbrush, they're fabulous. Let me just put some water on mine. There we go. So this is my oh good, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Lou. I'm glad. So water on the toothbrush into what's left there, and this is where practice will make it good for you guys, yeah? So don't be shy to actually just do a little bit of a flick with this. Right now I am going to have to put a bit of a green into this, so let me get the turquoise, and I'm going to do the same as what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have a little bit of a splatter. I'm going to have a little bit of this turquoise, blue, whatever you're using, yeah? So I'm going to dab the water, just that little bit in the water, and I'm just going to put the blue on the brush, as you can see, yeah? And then I'm just going to do it so it's going to spray. Now, because you've already got all this going on, you're not really going to see a great deal in regards to, but you are going to get the gist of, you've actually got like some sprays coming up and off. So don't be shy to sort of just play around with where you want the sprays going on. And if you want a darker colour or a darker blue, for instance, put it on. Don't be shy. But if you just want your white on, put your white on. Yeah. And that's really, really practice first move, or I know what happens. Honestly, yeah, you'll end up with a blob or something. It is funny, but you know something, that's how you learn. So I think it's a fabulous effect if you've got a scrap bit of paper, and especially if, let me just see if I've got a dark offcut and I can show you. Hold on. Oh, here we go. What's that? Yeah, that'll do. Let me just, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to quickly show you on here, for instance. So obviously I've got some black card here, and all I'm going to do is just show you just the difference. So I can turn this into sort of cosmic sort of thing, but it's understanding where your brush is going. So let me just put a bit of water on that, pick up, and so you can see how adding the water on, it gives you a different variety. And then if you really keep it in a place, it'll build up. So you can quite easily build up sort of an array, and you can actually take your splatters, yeah? So that gives you an idea of what you can do, yeah? And then just make sure you clear your finger off after you've made your mess. Like, let me just wipe that off now. So I'll put that over there out the way because I'll use that for something else. So obviously with something like this, you've got to be able to sort of see some sort of greenery or stuff. Now let me get Tracy's lovely little ferns, because that would go perfect in this. So TE3. So let me dry this off and let's really make this into something. So it's all about using what you've got and just having a little bit of imagination now. So I've put a lot of white on there, we've got blue and green, that's all we've done on here. And that crackle. And the crackle has actually given us that lovely waterfall effect, yeah? And we've got that pile here of sort of, you know, we've got all that crackle and we've got lumps and bumps, if you can see it. Look at that. Beautiful. So we've got the fronds, the fern, yeah? And there's two together and one separate. Now, this is going to just say, when I craft, I can hear your voice in my head. Good. Do it. Oh, well, I hope that's a good sign and not a bad sign if you can hear my voice in your head. Crikey, you poor devil. Right then, now, if, for instance, let me just, I'm going to play around with this. Now, this is a calligraphy brush, okay? And I'm just going to put on some paint because I just want to see if I can bring down sort of, you know, like when you see the lushness of a waterfall and you've got all these gorgeous vines and bits hanging down, yeah? Makes you bright. Yeah, go on. Just use Lisa as a superpower. Lisa says, you know, just do that. Now, all I'm going to do here is just have some, just so it looks like I've got something just hanging down, yeah? And I think this is a fabulous little effect. So, you know, I say to you, this takes you differently from your mate doing something to you doing something. So you see those little lines alone makes it look like we've got that sort of bit of growth going on. Now, if you really want to go for it, just add a little bit of oomph here and there. And then we could just quite easily just draw or just do a couple of wiggly lines down. It's got nothing major. So remember when we done the rabbit on the bridge? That's all that is, yeah? So we're just doing those little lines down, and it looks like, you know, you've got that lush area. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of lushness here. You'll see why in a bit, because I'm going to put some ferns in, yeah? So with watercolour, you can really just play around with it, yeah? I mean, you can quite easily even put yourself a little bit more oomph and a bit more, if that's rocks and stuff up here, for instance, yeah? we can bring those out now. We can actually bring a scene out. So this, for instance, here could be a little bit more, so I could actually take that more so like that and be quite harsh with that. I could put some lovely sort of back, just do like a bit of a grass or something here, yeah, because we've got like a bit of a gap. Now I know his head's gone now, and I'm really sorry about that, but we're creating something else. So when you create your one, you can put your head on and create away sort of thing, you know. There we go. So we've now got a waterfall coming over at a different angle. And the best thing I love about this, you can move your card about and it's not going to creak and fall off and do anything strange, you know. Now, I am going to stamp. Don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, yeah, go on then. Hit the like, thumbs up, subscribe, share and all that nonsense, you know. Just go for it. I'll agree. Oh, dear me. Let me just put a bit of water onto this just to clean the back of that. Now, we've got a lot of texture on here, and that's what we've got to be mindful for. Now, I'm going to stamp in Shady Lane. Let me just grab Shady Lane. And don't forget, once this is down, it's permanent once it's dry. So remember that, permanent once it's dry, yeah? I'm going to pop that on my finger like so. I'm going to dab, and then I'm going to stamp here to see what I'm getting. Now, I'm happy with that sort of half on, half off effect. Okay? So I'm happy. If you're not happy, then all you do is you're going to put it on a block and stamp it on a block, all right? But I'm happy with what I'm going to end up getting there. And if you're unsure you've took it off, just re-stamp it again, okay? So, here we go. So, this is TE3, okay, of Tracy's lovely stamps. Right then, let's have a play. So, I want some of this lushness now here. Now, because it's on my finger, I can actually move this around. Now, don't worry if you're not going to get sort of the actual full image on, because you can paint it. And at the end of the day, where there's going to be a flat image, you're going to see the actual fern. Where you've got all those lumps and bumps, you're not, because clearly you've got lumps and bumps and it's a flat surface. However, it's on my finger, so I can actually mould this in a way that allows me to sort of brings the stamp where I need it to go. Now, I can quite easily just build this up and build it up and build it up. I quite like that corner there. I quite like that there. I'm going to wipe that off a minute. Now, another option that you've got is if you've got your carrying pens, or if you've got your zigs, or if you've got your sweet poppy, whatever pens you've got, you can use it on this, yeah? So, let me just whack the lid on that before we end up with having a bit of carnage or something. Let me put the lid on this a minute before I spill that over and do something. It's all in my nature, you know. Absolutely. None of this has come off. None of it's moved. It's all on that piece of card. And it's just white pink frog. Super smooth. Now, let's play. So I've got the carrying pens here. I'm going to show you with the zig as well. So all I'm going to do now is just go over tracing. Now I can feel the texture under that. So I'm lucky I've even got that realistically. Now, you can, if you're confident, you can draw straight on and just go over Tracy's lovely design that's half there. Or you can put it down and literally paint it on, yeah? Again, the choice is yours at the end of it. So because I know there's sort of a fern effect here, let me just play around with that. And I'm going to just bring that down here. And again, just do a sort of fern effect. I'm going to extend it a little bit. I'm not too worried about this bit here, but I am just going to bring in, I'm liking the look of that as in sort of a rock area here. I'm loving my rock that I've got here, so I'm just going to put just a little bit more oomph on there. And then this bit of fernery here. Now you can use pencils if you want. It's not always about pens. So these ones that I'm using are the Brushmark Pros, the Caring. Okay, that's what I'm using. But I've also got zigs, so let me just show you with the zigs as well. So the Clean Colour Real Brush. I've got these. I spent 250 quid on them, sitting looking at me. I thought, well, I better get some use out of the damn things, haven't I, really? You know, and I won't tell you I'll blame for that purchase either. You know, She knows. So there you go. Right, so you're welcome. I like to have a variety, but it's a, you know, when you have a variety, you have to use the damn things. So that's what I intend to start doing, is using more and more of my stuff. Now, if you've got the brush or these, whichever ones you're using, you can just do a little lines down and just do those little sort of creeper vines if you want. You could add little dots to it, so it looks like it's got little leaves hanging down. So it gives that sort of little magical sort of sense, if that's what you're looking for. If it's not, don't do it. You know, you haven't got to do anything like that, but it just makes it look a little bit more of a lushness space. Now, again, you could have a little bit. Now, my brush is wet, but it's not sodden sort of thing. So I can actually just move any of my inks that I've got around here and just blend them through if I wanted to. Same as along here. So just remember, until everything's dry, it's all movable. All right. Now, because I've got that lush bit of grass down there, let me move all this out the way. Because what we can do is go back in with this. Now we've got this bit of colour down. I'm just going to add a little bit of water on my brush. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the lid and around. Now, this is a great thing for keeping your pot clean, because as you start to use this, it'll go down and you have lumps and bumps everywhere, and this keeps it all nice. So actually doing that and having a bit of white on is fabulous. Okay, now with this is where I'm hoping, oh bless you Sheila, that's very kind of you, we're going to get that water effect now. So we're going to get that splash effect, so it actually looks like that waterfall is actually doing something now. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. And I'm just going to put a little bit up here on that fern area and a little bit there. So that now has given me something totally different. I didn't even know what I was going to end up making. So there you go. Oh, hi Michael. Oh, I love it. So let's let that one dry. So that's another one, yeah? So far, we've had two totally different things going on, yeah? So let's have a look. Let's have a bit of carnage now. Let's have a proper play. Here we go. Let's get A5. Why not? Let them two dry. Let me get a fresh bit of paper. Lisa paper. Let's put that over there. There we go. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Right then. So there we go. Hi Michelle. Thanks for joining. Hope you're well. Now, I'm terrible when it comes to... I'm going to have to put my fern away. Let's put that away there. And then I'll put it in the packet because I don't want to end up losing my fronds. As you do. You don't know what's going to happen if you start losing your fronds. Love it. So I'm going to put this away. Let me just put my go-to. My little bit of oomph into there. Okay, there we go. Always when you've got little tiny ones, make sure they're in. The last thing you want to do, because that's when you come to it and you go, oh, I just need that little tiny mushroom now. So I'll tell you what, that waterfall will look nice with some mushrooms on. We might have to do that yet. Okay, so we've got Tracy, or we've got, I'll tell you what, let's have a mix of the two. Yeah, right. I'm going to use Tracy and Timmy together. Ooh, I'm watching as I work. Oh, fabulous. I won't tell anybody. You go for it. Right then, let's get a base down because we're going to play. Let's have a base down. Well, as long as you don't get told off, that's the main thing. So, what am I going to do? Let's okay, I want some colour here. So I'm just trying to think in my head what I'm actually going to do, but it's all right. We'll play. We will play. Okay, so let's just put that down. So that's antique linen. It's a lovely little base, and I'm also going to get some twisted citron. Let me get a green brush, a green door. Yeah, I did put it back. I did, yes, I did. Trust me. Okay, it's all right. What about you? So this is your base. Now, the thing that I love about some of Timmy's stencils, this fleur-de-lis one, gives you the most divine, subtle, beautiful, sort of very, very wispy, you know, wispy. That's the best. Yeah, I'll use wispy. It's one way of describing it. It's a wispy one. It's a wispy. So you can sort of bring this out in different places. Turn it around, so don't keep everything in one direction. You know, move it around. And I'm not worried if the stencil moves. In fact, I don't care. It adds a little bit of something else to it, doesn't it? You know? And don't be shy to even get your other colour, which was your antique linen, and think to yourself, well, I'm going to pop a bit of that into it as well. So why not? His flourish, but yeah, to be fair, I don't pay a lot when it comes to stuff like this. And they are new, but I get the pack. I get a pack of the lot. You know, these are the ones I get. So I get the large Tim's collection with the stamping as well, and that's just $10.99. So I get his I get 2 sort of stencils, and then a pack of it should be called the Fleur de Lisa. Something like that would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Right then, dearie me, that'd be funny. Right, so just whatever's on my brush now. So this is very much sort of Eileen inspired, I suppose we could say. Like I say, Eileen loves her stencils, the delicate work, and the way she brings it all together is absolutely outstanding. So if you haven't seen Eileen's work, pop on to her page. She does some beautiful stuff. Now, let me get my eye squirter out. I'm renaming it as an eye squirter now. So I am now going to move off all of this lovely stuff that we've just put on, because I want it all to blend. I want it to move. I want it to be my backdrop, basically. So look at those lovely movement now of colours, that green and that sort of beautiful antique linen colour. And I want some sort of watermarks on this as well. So to get your watermarks, you're going to push the ink here and there and allow it to sort of dry. You can also dab off as well. Let me just dab a few places as you do. There we go, that will do. Don't have Timmy saying, that's alright, don't worry about it. Use whatever stencils you like. I'm sure there's something similar with yeah, Lavinia, Sweet Poppy, Funky Fossil, my plant. Oh, go on then, Anne-Marie, go and have fun. Make sure you tag me in whatever you make. Anne-Marie's off to play, bless her. Fabulous, enjoy. Hopefully she'll have catch up, because this effect's gorgeous. Got to go. It's all right, Jen. Go on, sweetheart, go and have fun. I'll catch you later. You're very welcome, sweetheart. So, I mean, that as a backing already, I find that just beautiful in its own sort of. Let me put that like that for a minute or two. So I love the way that looks, just as it is, like so. Now, let's put a couple of bits down. So I am going to use this leaf stamp. Now, last time I used a green to stamp with. I'm going to do black this time so you can see it. And the only reason I'm doing it in black is just so it gives you the effect of what I'm doing realistically, because otherwise you might look and you think, oh, what are you doing, and can't see and all that sort of stuff. Let me just find something that resembles a stamping block, which I'm going to have to go hunting over here for. There we go. There we are. So I'm using a bigger stamping block. I'm putting it firmly in the middle. I'm making sure it's on. You can also turn it over like so if you want. Just make sure there's no ink on it. So I'm using the black, like I say, so you can see. Make sure you've got a decent stamping block and a decent pad. If it's not juicy, get it re-inked or buy a new one. The last thing you want to do, especially if you're doing it straight on like this, is put it down and then go, oh my gosh, I've just ruined it, you know, because that happens because you'll stamp it down and you're not confident enough to draw whatever it is you've missed, you know, and then you're going to restamp and it's like, oh, not going to line it up, I've ruined it. And then if you're using a MISTI, you're going to literally do 20,000 prints on it, and then before you know it, it's like, oh my crumbs, you know, what's going on here? So that would actually go quite nicely this way, that way, and all the rest of it. Very pretty. Me like that. Now then, choice. We can go really sort of let's do this one. I don't know whether Amanda done this one the other day or not, but we'll pop it on. We've all got similar stamps and similar styles. There we are. Sorted. Right, so that's had a good bit of coverage. And I'm going to put that sort of down here, I think. I'm going to pop it about, maybe like, yeah, about there. Yeah, I'm going to pop it there. Too late now, I've put it down. There we go. Well, that was a bad guess. Look at that. So, I'm going to stick that back onto the old sticky bat. Sound gone funny here? Oh, that's nice then. Might be my singing. Oh, dear me. There's not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately, if the sound goes, I'm afraid to say. That's the only thing I'm going to say to you now. Here too. Oh, dear me. You've all got funny sound moments, have you? Well, it's probably yeah, atmospherics. The gremlins. Yeah, probably. As long as you can still see me, that's the main thing. Right then, so I am going to pop this probably about here, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, I'm thinking about there. There you go. Let me just give it a wiggle. Atmospherics, that's the one. Thanks. I knew somebody had saved me. It is. It's honestly. Yes, one Crackle. Oh dear me. Well, it might be a case of logging in, logging out. I don't know. I can see all you lot perfectly fine. So all I can say at the minute is there's not a lot I can do about it. So I am going to pop that about there and maybe bring that up here. So I'm just trying to line things in now. And then just build up a bit of a background, basically. Oh, I sound like a mermaid. There might be a storm coming because it is looking quite manky here in Wolverhampton. So apologies if you're not hearing me. You're not really missing much. I'm just stamping anyway. If that's sorry if that sounds wrong of me, but that's all I am doing. So I'm just building up the area. I already tried switching to it. Oh, look at you. You're proper on it. Fair play, Teresa. Fair play. Right, I'm just going to pop that maybe like so, I think. Yeah, that'll do. Right, there we go. So I'm quite liking that effect. It's very sort of antique-y, Victorian. It just needs some pink in there. Gone dark, yeah. We've gone quite dark here as well. It's not just due to the time of night either. It's I do think we might have a bit of a storm coming over. So apologies if it gets too bad. Obviously, I'll be gone, but I'll be here until I'm done, basically. I was on the fence about buying the stamps because the flowers are so... Right, I'll tell you now, you know, because of the flowers are so big. Say, for instance, that's a tag. I'm just going to do a quick thing, just so this doesn't put you off, right? The flowers are big for a reason because, wow, do they give you some oomph. Let me just put this on and just look at this for a tag now. So let me just do that. Okay, so there you go. Look at this. How beautiful is this, right? So there you go. Black and white, dead easy, done tickety bow. If you I tell you what, let's really just balance that out a little bit. Let's just go like that maybe. Now to me, nice sentiment in that. How gorgeous is that for a tag? You can put it across. You can put a bit of colour over that. That would be... Don't let big stamps put you off, please, because you are missing out on a fabulous stamp set. This set is gorgeous. The stamp set is French Garden at 487. It's Stampers Anonymous. Obviously, it's Timmy's collection. But you get all of this in with it. That is absolutely to die for. The writing is gorgeous. You have this little stamp here. And you get it, obviously, and it can go in a folder. But do not let these stamps put you off at all. They are absolutely fabulous. Beautiful to work with. Yeah, I haven't even used this one yet. Let's have a little... Okay, you have to use these with the blocks. Blooming devils, aren't they? Hey, little terrors they are. Terrors. Yeah, let's do it like Frenchy, you know, like a bit of a French look. Let's do this. There we go. Let's put that like so. Let's put this here maybe. Bit of that there. A little bit of an oomph up here. Yeah, there you go, sorted. Look at that. Always have a little bit of a drop shadow. Now, I'll tell you what would be nice on that now. Don't worry, I'll go back to that one in a minute. See, you've just got me off on a tangent now. Naughty. You got me there, didn't you? You got me. You can laugh at that one now. Let me just wipe this over a second. There we go. Now, say, for instance, if you want to go sort of very French-esque sort of thing, let me just pop a little bit. Now, I've got dirty hands now, so you're going to get fingerprints and everything all over this. But it well worked. We got a bit of pink into it. Love that. You sold it. Oh, dear me. If only. There we go. Done that. Good. I sold the company. What was that now? I think that was the Razor Man, wasn't it? Whatever he was. Right. I need some paint. I need a brush. We need water. There we go. Right. So, something like that now. You just want to get yourself a little bit of light pink. And you could either do a very light water wash over. So do not let this put you off. And then Remington, that's the way. Crikey, Remington, love it. And then you just want a little bit of green. Just the lightest, you know, because if you want to go for that vintage sort of style, your green and your pink are your colours to go for. It is very, very vintage, very sort of, you need a little bit of antique linen maybe. Liked it, yeah, that's it. Liked it so much you brought the company. I knew it was something like that. I'm glad you know what I'm on about. That's why you've been my bestie forever. Isn't it? Crikey. Since we were knee-high to a grasshopper. So don't be shy to put a colour on, splatter it on, you know. There you go. Done, dusted. Now, if you wanted to stamp that down and then emboss it, go for it, because that would make fabulous, you know. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me just put a little bit of yellow into this, just to really lift it out. There you go. Sometimes you just need that little pop of colour in places. Yellow's the one. There you go. Sorted. Okay. So that just gives you an idea. So please don't let a big stamp put you off. In fact, embrace it. Embrace it, you know. So let me get back to what we were doing. There you go. Ta-da! Here's one I made earlier. Right. So let's put some colour into this. Now, there's several things you can do with this. You can paint the leaves white first if you wanted to, or you can go over them with the colour, or you can go over them with let me just grab my pencils. Yeah, I've got my Mondelez watercolour pencils, so you can quite easily just go over and just add. Now, what I love about working with watercolour pencils is, you know, I'm going to add water to it. You know, I'm going to really play about with the colours on here. You know, I'm going to add a lot of other textures. But if you're unsure, you can see I'm scribbling around on these. You have not got to be Picasso to pull this together, okay? All I'm doing is scribbling colour on at the minute. I'm going to go over it, though, in a minute with another green, because I want to build it up, yeah? Because as I always say to you, it's not just one colour. You've always got 2 or 3 or 4 different colours that you've got to pull out. So we've got that lovely light stencil work running through. Let me just colour that over there, a bit over here. There you go, sorted. So we've got that green now, yeah? We've got it, yeah? Have we got anything that resembles? What colour could we do this? Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll use this one now. So again, another green. Now I'm only doing this in different places, just here and there, because I want to try and put as many different greens as I can in. Don't worry if you go over the lines either. You ain't got to be perfect on any of this. We're going to add water to it. We're going to really blow the colour out of what we're looking at now. And then I want to put a bit of yellow in. Oh, bye, Cheryl. Got to go the rest of it. Oh, no, it's no worries at all. You're going to have fun, sweetheart, and I'll see you on catch up. So for all of you that have come back on catch up, hello again. Or you're back again so soon. Bless you. There we go. So now adding the yellow in is just giving that leaf. Now, if you wanted to put a brown in, it would look nice, especially as the leaves start to turn for winter. That is where your different colours will come in. And as we start going through the changes of the different seasons, I will start doing a lot more different things with you. I've brought some new pencils, so I'm going to start doing some pencil drawings with you as well. If you'd like to do some pencil work, I can start showing you some different pencil work, different techniques with pencils as well. If you want, let me know. When I say pencils, I mean like as in pencils. Yeah, pencil drawings and stuff like that. Hopefully that makes sense anyway. If you can draw with a pencil, then you can just go for it and really just crack on with your artwork, even if you just stamp and then draw off it and create off the stamp. I'm going to put a little bit of pink into this, only here and there, because I just want to be able to move this around. Now I am going to press quite harder in places, just to allow, when I put water to this, so it actually gives me that petal effect. Now in the middle there, I want that to be vibrant, so I'm going to go back in with this beautiful yellow, like so. Yes, pencils, perfect. Oh, that's nice to know that somebody wants to do some pencil work. I love pencil drawing. I've done some lovely portraits with pencils. So all I'm going to do now is, because these are watercolour pencils, I'm going to add some water to them. Lo and behold, hey, go me. There we go. So just wiggle it around. Don't worry, it's nothing nothing difficult or anything like that. You're just moving that colour. So look how that's given you that sort of light, sort of faint vintage feel. Yay, fabulous. Oh, I'm glad some of you like pencil work. Now I've got this is going to squirt me in the eye. I'm just so sure of it. Let me just see if I can clean this off maybe. I don't know why it's... Oh, that's a bit better. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do it from a distance by the looks on it. So I'm going to squirt it from a bit of a distance now, and I'm going to squirt it on the leaves. So I'm just going to see if that's going to move or not. I think I've drained it. Well, wait. I think I need a new squirter. Damn. So I've got the water on there, so I'm going to let it move. So you can see now how things are moving off the leaf. And I want that to sort of play around. Just like so. Perfect. Use a sketch 100 years, but I don't think I could do it now. Oh, I bet you could. I bet you could learn me a thing or two. Pencil sketching was my thing. Then I went into tattooing. So, you know, so for me, the basics and the rawity of a pencil, I love. Absolutely love. You know, so it'd be lovely for us to do some pencil stuff together maybe one day. You know, and if it's not your cup of tea, you can always just watch and maybe, you know, I can show you different things with watercolours and stuff like that. Right, so I'm just going to blow this off now, as you do. I'm going to dab in places. There we go. Let's have a look what we got. So when you got that movement of water, you'll have a watercolour edge, you'll have that sort of boldness. Love your pencils. Oh, fabulous. Oh, I'm excited now with you guys. That's nice to know. We'll do some pencil stuff. Perfect. I've got to see if I can still do some pencil stuff. Never mind you lot. Right then. Oh wow, fabulous, Moira. Talent in the family. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right then, so look how easy was that then. Now if you want to go over it, use paintbrush to apply Crackle. How the hell did it end up everywhere? I love it. Just the joys of it. Now I've got the carrying pencils. Now you can go over little areas if you want. Again, this is literally just been working with pencil. Oh, fabulous, Caroline. Love it. you can go over different areas just to give a bit of oomph. Now, if you've got your pen, your brush and it's moist, you can move your zig pens, you can move your carins, because that will give you that little extra oomph to your picture. So before it all dries, just move it along. There you go. And look how it gives that different bit of depth. And like I say, this is the difference from your mates going, oh wow, to, you know, you going, I'm really pleased with that one, you know, because you're adding the depth and the detail in now. And if you don't want to do greens, add a little bit of white on there, and then that green will go a little bit of a lighter green, you know. So use what you're comfortable with. There's no right or wrong, because it's your interpretation. Just because you've got a basics of a stamp there doesn't mean to say that that's how it's got to be. So I stamped in black. You could have stamped in avocado and then embossed it, and then you'd have had something totally different, because that's what I'd done with this one. And I've done a very delicate pencil drawing over that. Yeah. So can I invest in some pastel pencils? They came in boxes which aren't very great. What is the best way of storing? Okay, so I've just got one of these IKEA things, and I just put my pencils in there. I've also got a case which zips and it opens. Everybody's different. If I do my workshops, that's what I put my pencils in that for convenience. So again, you do what's good for you. There's a couple of different ways. Even if you look on Google and go pencil storage, see what ticks your box. Maybe might be a good option for you to look at, because we've all got different ways that we like to store things, I'd say. So what's good for me might not be good for you, and vice versa, sort of thing, you know. So yeah, have a look, see what floats your boat, sort of thing. So that's very French-esque, and it's just a couple of brushes, bit of paint, bit of pencil work, and there you go. Very, very French. I mean, you can sort of put down, let's have a look. So on this, he's got some proper Frenchy sort of, let me just move that one. Some really nice sort of May 20th. There's some date work on there, very light. And I'm going to do that in the avocado, so it complements up here. So it's not a case I use tins or plastic. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of tins for like all the, you know, I've got a lot of liners and stuff with the work I do. So again, oops, sorry you guys. So again, it just depends on what you've got. My pencil case holds 200, and I can get that full very easily. So again, it's just what you've got, sort of thing. So I'm going to do first and second generation, and I'm just going to sort of kiss it here and there. And I'm just going to bring it through here, maybe. Yep, just around here. And I'm just going to bring it through here. First and second generation, 3 or 4, maybe. But I sort of want to keep that sort of French-esque, maybe sort of style. Let me just bring it around here. Take it back over there. Yeah, there you go. Love the case. Yeah, the cases are fabulous, to be fair. It just depends on what your budget is. I mean, they're not expensive either, those cases. You know, again, everybody's different. You know, I'm not sort of do this, do that sort of thing, but you do what's good for you. I'm just going to finish this off now with a bit of twisted citron, and a brush would help. And I'm just, where I've got this sort of area here with that writing, I'm just going to play over that just a little bit. Please with it. Yeah, that's it. Good, good, good. Like I say, you always do what's good for you. You know, what's good for me might not be your cup of tea. But the best way of sort of putting it out there, because nobody's offending anybody then, isn't it? Because if I say, oh, well, you know, you had this, and you look at it, you think, oh, crikey, Liz, you carry on, cocker. It's one of them, isn't it? Oh, dear me. Can you just imagine that? It's like, oh, good Lord, what are you doing? Right, so we've had that lovely light stencil work there. Let me just see if I've got another. Oh, I've got another misting spray bottle. I'm not having this thing squirting in the eye. It's like I put a puddle down in one there. So let me just see what this thing's going to do. Right, so, oh, yeah, it's a bit better-ish. So obviously that is going to be permanent. So what I'm going to do, I've got the water on. Let me just shift all this out of the way. Let me get my paintbrush, and I've got some very sort of olivey and twisted sort of citron, and I'm just going to tap in places, because all I'm going to do here is put down sort of blocks of colour, and I'm even just going to flick a little bit here and there, because you know some of these French sort of things have got very you know, they're very sort of oldie whirly-esque sort of thing. Don't be shy to make your own version of that up either, you know. Have that sort of colour blotting out and stuff like that. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on just to finish it off, but I'm just going to put some of this colour, this green, just where some of this writing is, so it looks like we've just blotted it on. So I'm just going to blot a little bit of ink, well, paint, if it's going to let me do it. Anyway, I'll put a picture of, oh yeah, please do, Caroline, that'd be great. There we go. So that now, to me, I'm not going to do anything else, because if I keep going, I'm just going to like kill it, you know, with kindness, so to speak. So let me dry that off. And I love the little watermarks I'm getting in these different places now. Fabulous. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Looks like something out of a vintage bit of wallpaper or something, doesn't it? Oh, excuse me. Now, you could put your matting over that. You could put your textured paste and stuff over. I'm just going to put a little bit. So I'm holding this in my hand. This is Vintage Photo. Always your golden friend when it comes to vintage work. And all I'm going to do is, the card is still a little damp. So all I'm going to do is just allow it to kiss on places. As you can see, look at that. It's just hitting here and there. Don't worry about it. Don't get anal. You know, there we go. And again, if you want it to sort of run on a little bit, let it. Just don't go too sort of what's it with it, because the last thing I want you to do is take away the delicateness that you've just put on there. So to me, I'm loving it. You've got a tag, which I just put down just to show you. Remember that? Let me just put that little bit of brown around that edge. So just don't be shy to sort of hold it on an angle, so you know you're actually going to touch the card as well as the edge, because that gives a fabulous little bit of sort of texture as well as that antique look sort of thing. I mean, and then if you want, you can sort of just put a little bit of water on your finger and just move it around just slightly if you know, if it's too harsh. Let me just put my finger in the water. Just to move it around just slightly, just so it looks like it's got that bit of a bleed to it, yeah? And that gives that, yeah? So, let me just tidy, because my gosh, we've got a bit of a carnage and a half here, ain't we, tonight? Crikey, look at this, I've got to tidy up loads. I'll ban you lot, you know, making me work like this. I don't know, distress, there we are. Oh, hello, you're back. Oh, dear me. Yes, totally. Right, so there's one make. There's two little play. What else did we do? Well, we done the waterfall as well, didn't we? Look at that. So that's going to look nice when it's matte and layered. So that'll be a nice little card there. So we've got that one. We've got that one. And we started off with a bit of a mess. But I love the texture. When you feel this, I would love to use pencils. Well, I'm going to do some pencil stuff with you. So I am going to, just so you can see, I'm going to, now any pencil, now I say any pencil, I use B's. So this set that I've brought, and I've purchased this today, it's got 8B through to HB, and it is a fabulous set. So it's woodless, so just so you're aware, but that's what I'll be using. And then I'll obviously just get a couple of normal pencils. I've got a putty rubber, which is my Faber-Castell, love it. I've got smudgers, and if you haven't got a smudger, use cotton buds. But I'll show you all these little techniques anyway. But we'll do some pencil work, some proper sketches and some bits and pieces. But yeah, So tonight we ain't done too bad, to be fair. Was that what we done? So this is what I showed you to begin with. Yeah. Then we've done a bit of Timu. We've done some Tracy stuff. We've done Tracy in a bit of freehand. Again, just remember that with the fan brush. Nice easy way to do your waterfalls. Yeah, don't forget that one. That's a lovely little tip, that is, for you. Practice. Yeah. I'm so glad you've enjoyed tonight. And then we had like a bit of a wallpaper to end with our Timmy. So we had the stencils, we've had the different colours, the movement with the water, and then just colouring it in very, very lightly with watercolour pencils. So we've had a real mixture tonight, haven't we? Look at this. How fabulous is it? So thank you ever so much for joining me. Look at that, an hour and a half. How cool is that? It's so beautiful to see you all today. Stay safe. I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. To be fair, I can't really see out my window because there's a plant in front of me, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'll put ketchup out there. I will matte and layer. I don't know, maybe one of these two I'll do a matte and layer as the sort of the thing. But there we go. So don't forget, we've got plenty of workshops coming up. They are advertised out there in the different groups that we're in. Me and Amanda are out and about, so come and join us, come and have some fun, come and see what it's all about face to face with us, because it's so much different instead of watching it like this on YouTube. All right, so I'm going to say goodnight to these lot over here first of all. So Alison, Joke, Lexi, oh bless you Lexi, hello my little munchkin. Eva, hi, I'm so glad. Tracy, hello my sweetie. Hope you're well. Texture pack translucent ordered, available on pre-order. Oh, hello. Right then. So textured paste translucent has been ordered and available on pre-order on Tracy Evans. So if you're wanting any of the products that you've seen tonight with regards to the textured bits and bobs, Tracy Evans Boutique Designs, get yourself on there. Okay. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys now. So I'll pop you on there. So, oh, hello, what's happened there? Dear me, there we go. Might have to press the right button, isn't it? Bless you. Oh, there we go, done. So you guys get to look, yeah, it'll be nice. Hello, where you all gone? Oh, there we go. Where are you? There you go. It'll be nice to see what you put in the group. Here's my carnage. Here's my mess. There's all the bits and bobs. Mess, all the bits and bobs. There you go. There's all these lot on there. So let me just take that off there. There you go, sorted. But yeah, maybe this one. I like this one, but I also like this one. And I like the colours on this one. And I like this one too. Oh, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might do a bit of a montage or something. But stay safe. I'm back on Thursday. I haven't seen if Amanda's advertised for tomorrow, but I'm sure she will be. So I'll be sharing all those posts out if you need anything. Join Amanda tomorrow if she's on. I'll share the post if she is, just to let you know. But I will see you all on Thursday. So stay safe, everybody. Night, sissy pooers. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Love you all to bits, and I shall see you again very soon. See you later.